Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Yes, another surprise live. How are you all going? If you can see this, my L plate, because I'm a learner lawyer. I got my L plates on. I'm a learner. I thought it was funny. So, yeah, I want to look at defamation, and I can only talk about really defamation. So, defences, for example, in Australia, where I live, but some of the defences will be the same, some of the defences will be different, and what it is all about. Hello, Llama Girl. I'm about to use your clips and about to give you a big shout out too. So thank you for doing everything that you do, because that's the only way I can get through them. I have noticed, Llama Girl, that one of her videos has now been deleted. I looked on her Instagram before. So, yeah, so we want to look at what possible defences there could be and what would need to be proved. I mean, the most logical one is the truth defence, which means that she would actually have to prove that, well, one of the allegations that she has made is about human trafficking. She would actually have to prove the human trafficking. She'd have to show how they're human trafficking. How do you do that? How do you show that someone's a predator? So we want to look at defamation. As I said, I still don't have the full lawsuit, but I tell you what, wow, was there some entertainment today? In fact, I started watching Twitter. I started watching Llama Girl's Twitter, and I went, nah, I gotta watch this with everybody. We're gonna have to do it. So there was 2 lives, and she's got COVID. So I know the second one she's talking about KJ using proof. That would be new. Well, apparently, I didn't put the thumbnail, but she actually says that the lawsuit is baseless, and if you don't believe what she says, if you don't believe that's baseless, then you support the cop. So I've got my textbook. So for those of you that are just joining me, I've got my L plate for learner lawyer. I thought I'm a learner lawyer. Hey, I'm nearly 5 weeks. I've just hit the 5-week mark. I did my first assessment today. It was 6. They said, "Oh, you're gonna have it's gonna be multiple choice, 60 questions." And I went, "Oh yeah, 60 questions. That'll be a breeze." 3 hours, 50 tabs later. And this book, this tells you how it all has to be set out, how everything is set out, even how things are set out overseas. If you go to, so this is the legal citation. There was a lot of that. So here is a book title. Please list the correct citation. So you'd have to go through and find it all anyway. So yeah, so learn a lawyer here. I've come on early because there are 2 lives. I don't know how long they go for, but the fox says he doesn't drink coffee, but it's in the cold. Yeah, well, look, what I know is the truth defense can get messy, and the only case I know that, well, we know that Baralara settled with Friendly Geordies before that, and we know that Google has said they're just going to pay up. We're waiting for that judgment. Hello, Juju. Like my learner lawyer plates, my L plates, I'm a learner. I've got in contact with Poppy Seeds because I want to get Poppy Seeds expert opinion on this, because she's an Australian lawyer. My L plates for learner lawyer. So as I said, what I can talk about is what needs to be proven. So with the Ben Robert Smith, who is a Victoria Cross winner, highly decorated Australian soldier. The media, and when I say media, I'm talking about mainstream media. I think 3 of the big commercial stations, 2 or 3 of the newspapers have all teamed together, and they're actually pleading the defense of truth. And part of this truth defense is they've actually had to get soldiers to speak out against him, as so we've only got one side, but some of the stuff and the allegations that have come out from this one side for the truth have been horrifying and very embarrassing for Ben Robert Smith. And so what both sides need to realize is that it could get messy on both sides, and secrets could come out from both sides. So, all right. Well, Channel 9 has been... Well, interestingly enough, Ben Robert Smith has stood down from his position on Channel 7 while the defamation suit's on him. And I was reading somewhere that they reckon that so far, the bills so far for both sides have hit over the $1 million mark. So, pleading the truth defense can also be very expensive. So, a lot of the stuff I can talk about will only be about Australia, maybe the UK. Don't forget that in the US, they do have that amendment. Is it the First Amendment, the freedom of speech? We don't have that in Australia, of course. But we should be permitted to, but in Australia, we are permitted to freely express our opinion about people, but not present those opinions as false statements of fact that damage others' reputation. So, we have to be careful. And so we have to balance that up. So let's let's do this, and then we'll have a look at some of the defenses. I was trying to pull up the electronic version of my textbook so you could read it along with me, but it's not going to work because in Australia, there are 5 common law defenses that you can use: truth, absolute privilege, qualified privilege, fair comment, and innocent dissemination. So that's really the 5 that you've got in Australia. Truth, absolute privilege, qualified privilege, fair comment, and innocent dissemination. And so, I want to break those down, and I want to have a look at what that would mean. But as I said, I don't know. I've been working on this because I've been working on my own work. I haven't really gone in to see what defenses they could have, but it should help you, hopefully help you decipher some of that. And don't forget, I'm a learner lawyer. So I did watch Emily D. Baker today. So I did watch her, and it's interesting that she said some of the stuff that I had sort of put up there about various things. So I felt really pleased that I've actually interpreted it quite well. So I thought, oh, cool. I'm saying the same things as Emily. But yeah, I'll be very interested to see how these are pleaded. Look, her lawyer. What Juju says, what a great way to apply what you are learning. On. Yes, that's right. She's just in a different jurisdiction to me, though, and I think she was saying that she was going to go after everybody that's talking about it. That's fine. Come after me. I'm in a different jurisdiction, and I'm doing an educational video. This is an educational purposes. We'll say it's educational, hey? Let's learn about defamation law. Hello, Cal. How are you? Good. We're going to learn about defamation law. And I do notice that mainstream media has started to pick up the prayer room stuff, which is good with Friendly Geordies. So we'll have a look at that later too. There's people asking questions. Finally. And it's very interesting because the Prime Minister, they're saying there's articles today to say that the Prime Minister could be in a little bit of trouble. So I don't know. The speculation is he's waiting for some of the stuff to die down. Well, there's been an appeal in the High Court over the New South Wales Liberal government stuff. So he's waiting to see the outcome of that, is what I'm hearing. That's all political, and that's all, that's gross and disgusting too. So let's get on to KJ, hey? So KJ says the lawsuit is baseless, and if you don't agree with her, then you support the coal. Hello, Robin. All right. So as I said, Llama Girl's in the channel. Make sure you say thank you to Llama Girl for all her work, for all her videos. Very much. Shakes is working hard on something because he did some today. He did something today about Love Island. It was bizarre. That was really weird. Juju says, give us a few years and even all of us not studying law will be experts on defamation. Correct. And the thing is, I'm really sad that I'm having to do all the I'm just doing the torts of I shouldn't say I'm just doing I'm doing public liability at the moment, and trespass and assault and battery and negligence and duty of care, and I just want to get to defamation. It's like, let's get to defamation. I want to get to defamation. But anyway, all right, so here we go. Don't forget, she told everybody yesterday or the other day she got diagnosed with COVID as well.
I'm sorry, I don't feel good. I have COVID.
Here you go. She's going to start with she's got COVID. I don't know why you would be online. Everyone that I know who has had COVID has been bedridden and unable to get out of bed for at least 3 days. Every single person I know.
COVID.
A few of them actually lost their voice. I know that everybody, has reacted differently. This is people, and these are people that's had 3 vaccinations. Yay, Llama Girl, you're a hero. I'll also put in Llama Girl's link so you can get her coffee, buy her a coffee to support her as well. Yeah, I couldn't make sense of Friendly Geordie's Love Island one. I watched it and I went, this makes no sense. Anyway, talking about not making any sense.
Hello. I'm sorry, I don't feel good. I have COVID. My throat is a little bit hoarse. Had a fever all today. I've still been putting work in and trying to get content out for you guys. I just put out a video about the Duggars, and I'm about to put out a video about Sister Wives. And I'm just going to come over here because some of you had been asking me to do a live stream about what is going on with the 7M situation. And listen, hold on, I'm just going to turn off the comments real quick.
She's got to turn off the comments because, she doesn't want people questioning her.
If I'm being completely honest, it's been big.
Whenever she starts with, if I'm being completely honest, we know what's coming next. How many times have we heard, if I'm being completely honest?
This has been a very emotional reporting job. This has been extremely mentally and emotionally taxing, and it's been a lot of work. And I have been doing it without getting paid. I'm not making money on the story because I'm not posting it on my YouTube channel.
This is what I'm not understanding. What benefit is it to her? There has to be something, because she wouldn't be doing this for nothing. I find it really hard to believe that she would be doing this out of the goodness of the heart, considering now that there's a lawsuit. I just don't understand why you would do that. Hello, Bella. I don't understand why you would do that when you know that there's a risk of a lawsuit.
I'm really just posting little blips on my Instagram.
Little blips? It goes blip, 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 blip. Lots of little blips make a big blip.
Because I know that that's the most shareable space where this can spread. So the idea that I'm sorry. The idea that I would somehow be doing this for like clout or anything is just asinine. Anyone that follows me knows my heart and knows why I do what I do. And
money, money, money must be funny in the KJ's world. Allegedly.
In regards to like this lawsuit, it's literally bogus. I mean, my legal team looked over it, and we know that there's nothing to this, and we're not.
It's funny because both Uncivil Law and Emily D. Baker have said that, hello without a lawyer, not much. Do you like my L plates? My L plates for Learn a Lawyer. I'm a Learn a Lawyer. She's just started. Have said that if some of the stuff that she stated, if that is proven to be true, she could be in a lot of trouble. Both of them have said that. There are some, and it's really going to depend on how she pleads. I mean, if she's going to go for the truth defense, she's going to have to prove that when she says about human trafficking, that there's truth there.
I'm worried one bit. They just want to silence us and stop the reporting. And
well, part of their relief is for an injunction for her to stop talking about them. Now, if that she gets a temporary injunction, then she's silenced. What is she going to then do? What does she do? What if she, let's just say that there's a temporary injunction and it's ordered that until the hearing, she's not allowed to mention their name, or she's not allowed to cover them. She's going to be stuffed. She's then just destroyed it. So it's not about it being baseless. I don't think she'll get a complete ban, but there may be topics that they will say she can't do. As I said, in the Barilaro Google, Barilaro's lawyers have asked for an injunction against Google from publishing anything about Barilaro, which it's going to be, this could be, and this case, Barilaro Google, that alone could be precedent setting, because if Google can't have anything defamatory on their platforms about Barilaro, it could have wide-ranging implications. But anyway, so yeah. Well, the thing is, the Fox, she's not doing all of it. Only some videos are on YouTube. Most of her videos are on Instagram at the moment. So that's the problem. And one of the things that Emily D. Baker, in the documents that Emily D. Baker had, showed that she talked about the fact that she'd spoken to people who had rung up and got them banned from that football team entertainment show. So she's showing that she's coercion, that she's doing that. So yeah. Okay. And also, Emily D. Baker has said that the confidential information had to have been, if she's got it, had to have been leaked by somebody. So the person that's leaked the information could also be in trouble. And I think that that's true too. Okay.
My biggest concern here is that
her biggest concern is that if you're watching KJ,
for the last
welcome.
several days, there's been this like dramatic shift where we're only talking about Miranda. And I came at this story because I found out about Miranda, but it has nothing, like, Miranda's one person. And, you know, the other thing I want to say is, if Robert Shin is truly serious about this lawsuit, he has, like, at least 7 accounts right now that I found that are linked to them, that are actively smearing me, spreading horrible video, like horrible content about me, lies, slander. I mean, they're going out of their way to discredit me, which is part of when someone gets cornered, they try to deflect.
Okay, so where's the proof? But here's the thing, are they merely slandering her, or are they saying that what she's saying is not true and that she's being malicious? There's a difference. Again, I need to see it. I need to see it to be able to come up with, come up with stuff. Because what I've seen on some of the allegations, and don't forget, they have to prove. So if she's saying they've said that I'm a liar and that's defamatory, well, they've just got to prove that what she said is untrue, and then what they've said is true. As I said, it's going to be very interesting.
At least that's my belief, because they don't want the truth to come out, so they want to intimidate me so that I'll stop talking about it. The thing that makes me the saddest in this situation is that they have Miranda so paranoid that the world hates her when it's not the case, and she is dedicating her time and energy to making hate-filled videos towards me when I've never in my life once said I hate you, Miranda. I think you are a beautiful girl and a wonderful dancer, and there's a whole world out here that loves you, and you don't need 7M to be successful. That's all that everyone wants people to know, is that all of you have talent, all of you have the ability to do well in this industry, but you don't need 7M.
Hang on a minute, but didn't she say that Miranda and James aren't really married? That their marriage is fake? Didn't she accuse Miranda of not contacting her parents? Doesn't she bring up Miranda every single time?
And the other problem here
is you.
And the problem that nobody else wants to address, and it's weighing on me heavily, is that if more of you don't speak out, it's just going to continue to manifest, and it's going to continue to fester. And if some of you don't start taking on your platforms and using it to speak out, you're going to have the rest of us that are speaking out get buried in the narratives of negativity and of this, that we're all liars. Do you want the dance community to be safe? Do you want up-and-coming dancers to not get recruited into a system?
Oh, so now it's everyone else's fault. Oh, the other thing is, in Australia, it's been proven that an intermediary, like a platform, can be liable for defamation, like YouTube or Google. In the so, for example, if she is sharing somebody else's post, and that's deemed to be defamatory in Australia, she could be done as an intermediary. She could be classed as an intermediary, and she could be also be liable for defamation. But also, Facebook, Twitter, or Google have all been found guilty of defamation for allowing defamatory material on their platforms in Australia. There is and I can't pronounce it, truck. I'll write it in here. There is a case called, I cannot pronounce it, TRKULJR versus Google. It's from 2012, and it went through the Victorian Supreme Court. And Google was found liable for defamatory material, and they've been found liable for defamatory material for John Barilaro. So this is interesting. This is why I said to 7M, if they put Instagram in on it, they would have they would get well. So that's the case. Hello, Mimo. That's the case. So the plaintiff sued Google, alleging an internet search of his name using a search engine controlled by the defendant, produced results affiliating him with a high-profile Melbourne criminal figure. The plaintiff's lawyers had written to the defendant requesting the material be removed, but they refused to do so. The defendant, Google, was found liable for publishing the defamatory material, as it had failed to stop the defamation from occurring once it had notice of the existence of the material. So, this is this. So if she's shared something that has since been found to be defamatory, this went back and forth through the courts. Look, it went to it went all the way up to the High Court. So it's gone up to the High Court. It's been of Australia, and the High Court stated that images in the search engine were capable of being defamatory. So there you go. Then there is Twitter was sued recently. Twitter's been sued in 2015 and 16 for comments made by a politician, and I know that Barilaro is looking at Instagram and Twitter next to sue. So, yeah, as I said, if they're being found liable, they're not going to want to keep paying out. So they're going to have to, but then, the thing is, how do they police it? The other thing that Google, in the Barilaro case, that Google's been held responsible, YouTube was held responsible for comments that people made on the page and not deleting it, which I thought was very, very interesting. Could you imagine how many people they would need to police YouTube all the time? But anyway, we're getting off the track, but this is the thing. If she's posted something that she knows could be deemed defamatory, she could, well, as I said, like I know about in Australia, she could be she could be held liable as an intermediary.
That could potentially be exploitative, or do you want to stay silent and then watch your fellow friends and colleagues get completely blasted and annihilated online for daring to use their platform to speak out? I'm at a point right now where I'm like, I get it if you don't want to speak out, but at the same time, I have been watching and noticing that Twitch, his wife, is watching my stories. She's liking my comments, and she's not saying anything. And I don't know why. Allison and Twitch have a huge platform, and they're a huge reason why these dancers are as famous as they are. It's through Twitch that they got onto Ellen, and Ellen gave a lot of them a lot of relevance. So why won't you speak out for the people that you care about and that are your friends? If your children were the Wilkins kids or were if you were any one of these parents, wouldn't you want someone in the industry to speak out for your kid?
But my kids are adults now. I mean, they're free to make their own decisions. They're adults, aren't they?
Knowing what's going on behind the scenes? Does it matter more to you that you have no controversy in your life? Because I don't have a problem speaking out. I have no problem. And the Sun has been putting out articles, and the Daily Mail is putting out articles. Business Insider is doing a huge...
Yeah, but they're not putting out articles every 5 minutes or every 10 minutes or every 20 minutes. They've put out one article or two articles out of the hundreds they do every day. They're not obsessed. There's a difference. I think Slav's father has a bit more to worry about in Ukraine. Well, that's true too. So, in case you're wondering, because what an injunction is, so one of the reliefs that they've asked for is an injunction. So, an injunction is a court order compelling a party to engage in or refrain from certain conduct. In the defamation context, an injunction may be awarded preventing publication or republication of defamatory matter. So an injunction is an equitable remedy which is awarded at the court's discretion and requires the plaintiff to persuade the court that an injunction is an appropriate remedy in the circumstances. So there was a case called Nixon versus Lanham Gordon, and apart from the award of damages, an injunction prohibiting further publication of the booklet or a letter of retraction was also granted. Injunctions will in Australia, remember this is Australia, so injunctions will be awarded in exceptional circumstances with the courts acknowledging the potential adverse impact on freedom of expression. In the Australian Broadcasting Corporation versus O'Neill, the High Court acknowledged the impact on freedom of speech and the need to take caution when exercising discretion to award an injunction in defamation proceedings. Further, the difficulty of using an injunction to restrain internet publication was addressed in Macquarie Bank Limited versus Berg. So that's the thing. So that is what a injunction does. So it stops them from talking or publishing about stuff. The other one that they like to do is an apology. So if you remember when Jordan Shanks, part of his settlement was that he had to issue an apology. That is actually classed as a remedy. So what if they sent it to other sources and they complied? Maybe that's the other thing. That's the other thing. Who's said? Oh, Jennifer. Hello, Jennifer. Yeah, they could have complied. We don't know.
Huge expose, like massive. And I know New York Magazine is doing a huge one. I found out a couple days ago that a huge production company is going to be making this for a network, and it was picked up. So if Robert, and that has nothing to do with me. So if Robert thinks that silencing me is going to silence the story, that's not true. But we also need you in the industry to stand up for your community. I'm an outsider, and I don't have any clout.
Really? She doesn't have any clout.
I have 87,000 followers on my Instagram. Some of you have millions, and you have the opportunity to do the right thing, and every day that passes, you're just continuing to be complicit and silent. And I was so disheartened last night because I was crying last night. I'm going to be honest. I was bawling because I felt like what I witnessed with Miranda and her parents was what coercion and intimidation looks like. I saw posts being made by an account claiming to be Miranda, saying that her life was in danger and threatening her parents, that her life was in danger if she didn't cut contact with me. Me, someone who has nothing to do with the dance community, and all I'm doing is reporting on the story.
Really?
And she demanded that they remove videos and unfollow me, and then they didn't do the same. So Kelly did remove the videos. Kelly did unfollow me. And I don't care if Kelly unfollows me. Kelly needs to do whatever Kelly needs to do that she feels is the best thing to get Miranda and have a connection. But Miranda, and I don't believe it's Miranda that's actually controlling that account, they didn't delete a single negative thing that they said about her parents. All of that slanderous content is still up on that page. Why?
Yeah, but all right. But that's not about you. That's between Miranda and her parents. That's not about you. You only need to be concerned about you.
Would you want to be part of an organization that literally is allowing your parents to be degraded in such a horrific way? I can't fathom an employer trying to burn bridges in my life. It makes
No, you burn your own. there's no more to burn, allegedly. Burning down the house. Oh dear. Oh boy.
Makes my heart hurt. And again, these are my opinions. So, Robert, you can sue me and say that I'm slandering you, but I'm also protected under free speech, and I have an opinion on the situation based on what I've learned. And I don't agree with what you're doing, so I have a right to say that. Just like you have a right to make 87 accounts slandering me, right?
Just because you have freedom of speech doesn't mean that you can destroy somebody else's reputation. It doesn't give you the right.
Right? But what I don't agree with is, if you really cared about Miranda, why would you be trying to ruin her relationships with her parents? And then
why would you be trying to ruin her relationship with her husband?
Why would you be trying to threaten her parents with the safety in order for her parents to comply? I mean, did any other of you last night witness?
Does anybody actually think that it should be about what Miranda wants to do and not her parents? Hello? Maybe Miranda doesn't want to have anything to do with her parents. That's her right. Hello?
That's what I witnessed. Did you see the comments where she said, I'm in danger? If you don't do this, my life is in danger? Is that not a threat? Now imagine how a mom would feel reading that. You're a mom. You love your kid. Doesn't matter that they're 25. You have done everything for your kid your whole life. You've supported her at every single turn. You weren't controlling, because a controlling mom certainly wouldn't allow your child to move across the country to LA, get her an apartment, and let her chase her dreams while she stayed back in Michigan. That's the opposite of a controlling mom.
How does she know all of this? How does she know the history of Miranda and her mum? I thought she said she hadn't spoken to Miranda. Or has she only got her mum's side? There are two sides to every story. There are two sides to every story. Even with this thing that she's reporting on, there are two. Part of being a reporter is that you give fair commentary to both sides. Both sides. You can report on it, but you need to show the other side. That's why in this video, in this live, we are talking about what defenses you could be using. I'm trying to help. With my little learner plate.
A controlling parent is Jim Bob Duggar, who doesn't let his kids even move out of the compound and controls them all through their work. That's a controlling parent. Miranda's parents were like, chase your dream. And then watching the responses to Lauren Gottlieb. I just have to say this, you guys. I have been talking to Lauren for a month behind the scenes.
Oh, wow. Aren't you lucky?
Kindest heart. Loving heart. She has an energy of just empathy and compassion and deep care for the community and the people in the community, and a sense of responsibility to the community. In a lot of ways, she looks at herself as like a mom, because she's in her 30s now and she's kind of come up. And so she wants to be a good role model to the younger dancers. And so I know when she finally said something last night, how much courage that took her to say that. And I also know it was said with a lot of compassion, and that even though she doesn't know Miranda very well, she knows enough about the industry.
Oops. Sorry. Now, where did we go? Oh, we did that one. Oh, yeah, this is the one, isn't it? Is that right? Oh, yeah, this one. Yeah, I think so. Look, I can't.
I know New York Magazine is doing a huge one.
No, we did that
I found out a couple days ago that a huge production company is going to be making this.
Name and shame. Come on, name them.
So, Robert, you can sue me and say that I'm slandering you. Same. So Kelly did remove the videos. Kelly did unfollow me. And I don't care if Kelly unfollows me. Like, Kelly needs to do whatever Kelly needs to do that she feels is the best thing to get Miranda and have a connection. But Miranda, and I don't believe it's Miranda that's actually controlling that account, they didn't delete a single negative thing that they said about her parents. All of that slanderous content is still up on that page.
We did that one, didn't we?
And she is the sweetest woman in the whole world. And she has, like, the biggest heart, kindest heart.
But you know what? I've switched off. I'm not even paying any attention. I don't know how you do it, Llama Girl.
Loving heart. She has an energy of just empathy and compassion and deep care for the community and the people in the community and a sense of responsibility to the community. In a lot of ways, she looks at herself as like a mom because she's in her 30s now and she's kind of like come up. And so she wants to be a good role model to the younger dancers. And so I know when she finally said something last night, how much courage that took her to say that. And I also know it was said with a lot of compassion, and that even though she doesn't know Miranda very well, she knows enough about the industry to know that she cares about what's happening, and she doesn't want to see this happening to other dancers, and she doesn't want to see it happening to Miranda.
Oh, thank you, Cal. Let's get the donation train going again. You are awesome, Joe. Always entertaining. Thank you, Cal. I try to be entertaining. But I have to thank the woman of the hour, KJ. Oh, no, I thank Glamour Girl. But, you know, she's back. Well, she's very entertaining at the moment.
And there's so many other people like Lauren that feel that same way. Mm-hmm. And I'm grateful that Lauren said something. And I'm sad that the response was just contrite and vile and rude. Because...
But it wasn't. She said, "Spud out of my life. You don't know anything about me." Like, I would say the same thing if you wanted to comment on my life. It's my life. It's now or never. You know?
In the real world.
The real world. The real world. Tell us about the real world.
In the real world, if you are being controlled by someone, why would your emails, why would your account be blocked?
In the real world, my account could be blocked. Because I don't want to speak to somebody. Maybe because I don't want to talk to you.
You were like, that post she made where I accidentally blocked my parents? What? No. All Lauren did was pointed out that somebody was probably deleting comments or causing her to not see messages.
Do you know that happens to me a lot? I send messages and they don't go through. Sometimes it can be, I spend a lot of time on Fortnite. I am more in the real world than...
from her parents, and that's concerning, and that's a red flag. I'll show you Lauren's comment.
Oh, no, here we go. There is a particular person that I message. They never get my text messages. If they text me first and I respond, they go through. But if I text them out the blue, they don't get it. I don't know why. Maybe my messages are being blocked too. Maybe. Oh, I just loved In the Real World. I love that.
Okay, so this is not them, but I just want to show you this. This is an account that I believe is connected to 7M. And this is a comment that's on their page. And again, disparaging and going after people that connect her. And it says, weren't you concerned for her safety? She's being stalked, harassed, and followed. But it was like repeated. I'm not stalking her, I'm not harassing her, and I'm certainly not following her. And I'm not contacting her brands. I haven't spoken to a single brand. I contacted one just to verify if they had a relationship.
So she just contradicted herself. I haven't contacted a brand, but I contacted one. So therefore, she's just admitted that she's contacted a brand. Hello. Boo, boo, boo.
I haven't spoken to a single brand. I contacted one just to verify if they had a relationship.
That's a contradiction in, what, 2 words? she contradicted herself badly.
But it was like repeated comments like this yesterday. And then Lauren's comment was,
hello, Osbell. So Osbell is the legend that does a lot of my thumbnails, and Llama Girl is the legend that provides all of our clips. I'm just surrounded by legends. Hey, Osbell, is your area a Bruz-free zone yet?
it was before that one. Sorry, you guys. If on your phone the texts are blue, but on your parents' phone they are green, someone is in the middle seeing to it that you never see those messages. Think about how wrong that is. We all love and support you, Miranda.
It's funny because every now and then the said person that doesn't get my text messages gets them all at once. It's really annoying. It's really annoying.
See your mommy and daddy. If you are a 25-year-old woman and like you have someone controlling your accounts to the extent that like people are blocked and you don't even know it.
Oh, Osbell says, sweet, I've not had to wake up to his voice on my radio, so fingers crossed he's left the building. Well, he's going to get a nice little payout from Google, so, you know, he'd probably be able to buy the building.
That's kind of a red flag. And then her response, and I don't know if this is even Miranda responding, was so ugly. We filmed like 2 videos together, and I don't even really know you like that. And I'm not really sure of a nice way to say this, but please stay out of my business. Go see your mommy and daddy.
How is that rude?
I mean, she had...
Can somebody tell me how is that rude? How is that rude?
Videos on that page of someone that is like a friend of a friend that has been speaking out for them, and she's calling her a stalker and a psycho.
What? Hang on a minute. Where's stalker and psycho come out of that post? How do we get to 0 to 100? What did I miss? Since when did saying to someone stay out of my business mean you're a stalker, a psycho and a stalker? How did we get there?
And it's like, I don't even believe she's writing this stuff. That's my opinion. I don't believe that she's writing this. I don't believe that she even has a clue what's really happening. And I don't think she accidentally blocked her parents. I just can't see that possible. So, if a management company really cared about their talent, the last thing they would be doing is burning every bridge that person has. And...
Oh, like you. You're telling them not to be like you. Don't be like me, be like me. I know, WOACB versus WACB can do a video just on these lives. Yes, because she contradicts herself. This is like me accepting the cashier at the grocery store weighing in on my life. A friend of a friend is nothing. Yeah. So for those of you who destroy me, the L plate means I'm a learner lawyer. I thought I'd put my lawyer L plates on.
And then someone that is like a friend of a friend that has been speaking out for them, and she's calling her a stalker and a psycho. And it's like, I don't even believe she's writing this stuff. That's my opinion. I don't believe that she's writing this. I don't believe that
she's not writing, she's typing. She's typing. So of course she's not. So of course she's not writing. She's on her phone. She's typing. She's clicking. I'm on fire tonight.
she even has a clue what's really happening. And I don't think she accidentally blocked her parents. I just can't see that possible.
Oh, I've accidentally blocked people when I first got my phone and I was going through it. I blocked people.
So, if a management company really cared about their talent, the last thing they would be doing is burning every bridge that person has, and then blaming the blogger and the reporter who's covering it.
But you're not a reporter. But she's covered. She's saying she's a blogger here now. She's saying,
and then blaming the blogger and the reporter who's covering it for the downfall. It was Melanie and her parents that put out the story, and then it was me and then other reporters that picked up the story. And
interestingly, a lot of those magazines that she talked about quoted her, so she's the one that wanted the clout.
Did the investigations?
Just saying.
They told us the problems in that video, and we sought the answers through our investigations, and we confirmed a lot of their suspicions and what they knew. So, if you care about this community, and if you care about these dancers, and you care about them not recruiting people, you need to say something. Because today,
I have not seen any evidence. I've not seen any evidence that there's anything wrong with these people. Because all I've heard is cult. I can't take it seriously.
You have a dancer from this group.
I'm just
answers. They know that they can't tag their friends anymore because their friends don't want to work with
them.
Hello,
so Anthony and Toyn.
Find up and coming dancers that don't know anything about them, that are naive, that just want money. There's way more to the industry than money, and if you're chasing fame and you're getting in bed with like the devil,
power of love is a curious thing. Make a woman and a man.
To get that goal, I mean, this is what can happen. Do you want your friends, your sisters, your little sisters and brothers to get recruited into this? This is in LA, and it's all over.
LA is all about there's no business like show business like no business I know. Oh, oh no! And there was a there was a spelling oopsies.
This is in LA, and it's all over the internet.
But isn't LA ruthless and going getting on the skateboard? That's true.
So, Robert is also suing me because I said that James abandoned his son. He kind of did, though, didn't he?
Did she just admitting that what she said was true? As I said, oh no, that's all right. And I've just got the few words in there, and I don't know why. Bruce, what's our robot's name? I can't even remember his name. I'm going to get sacked. What's our robot's name? I've forgotten the robot's name. Oh dear. Hi Joe and everyone else here. I have to try and get some sleep soon, so I have to go. I hope you enjoy the rest of the clips. Thank you. Nightbot, yeah, Nightbot. What's his name? What's our Nightbot's name? Thank you again, Llama Girl. You are amazing.
So, please do me a huge favor. If you are one of those people that has been watching me.
Thank you, the fox. Ralph. Sorry, Ralph. Ralph, yes. Ralph sometimes does things. I have to go have a talk to Ralph. See, I couldn't remember Ralph's name. I'm going to get sacked. Ralph is going to... She wants us to do a huge favor. Okay.
If you are one of those people that has been watching me for the last several weeks and has been watching me get beat up and watching other people get beat up, speak up so that we're not taking all the heat. Speak up so it goes further than just us.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I've seen nothing. What I want to know here, I'm asking a really honest question here. What have we been shown that tells us that it's a cult, that people are being held against their wills? What evidence have we seen? Because I don't think I've seen any. Everything that I've seen is allegations and speculation, and allegations and speculation doesn't mean is not fact, in my opinion. And you have to prove fact. So I've not seen anything to say this is I've not seen anything to give me any idea that there's anything's going on, to be honest.
Speak up so that you spread out the message so it's not isolated to one person. Please speak out.
That's what she's mad about. She's the only one being sued. Hello, Vedandra. So, as I said, has anyone seen anything that would give any credence to anything that's been said? Because, as I said, I haven't. I've not seen any evidence. And we can't go by old court filings. You can't go by, I'm talking about here and now. And if, as she says, the authorities won't touch it, then there's no evidence. Hello?
And stop putting it all on Dana. And stop putting it all on, those few that have spoken out. Matt Stefanina is one that I can't fathom for why he hasn't said anything. Matt Stefanina was their roommate. He was the man that these kids lived with before they left for this group. Matt Stefanina, why aren't you saying anything for your friends that you cared about?
Maybe because what's been said about them is not true and he doesn't want to get sued for defamation. Hello? Maybe you're wanting him to say something that he doesn't want to get in trouble for because he doesn't want to get sued. Hello? I don't know. As I said, if people aren't speaking out, then there's a reason. Now, she says it's because they're scared, but I've not seen any proof. Has anybody seen any proof of the allegations that's been made?
Why can't you just take 2 minutes to say, I'm sorry, like, please help my friends? Instead of posting video after video after video with Enola, a girl that they tried to recruit.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
It doesn't matter if Dana and Matt are exes. Who the fuck cares? Their relationship has nothing to do with this situation. But Matt, and who's the guy that has the mask? The dancer that has the mask. That guy. And then the other guy, John. Poor Enola. I know. Enola, you can definitely do better.
Oh, dear.
Poppin' John, yeah.
Well, don't forget her son's got COVID as well. Her son's got COVID and she's got COVID.
So, say something. All of you say something. I think.
Well, why hasn't her team come out to support her? Isn't the time when you get these allegations when you're supposed to have your team come out and back you up, and you bring out your team and you play the Rocky theme. Here comes my team. We're going to win, but the team aren't there. I don't know. Look up. It's according to Body, isn't looking up and out not being truthful or something.
There's only a handful that have said anything. Tim Milgram, Lauren Gottlieb, Dana. I can't even.
But what are you doing? Oh, yes. You know what? I actually forgot to film it. Vidandra, I've got it right here. You missed it. It's right here. I got to do a catch up. I'll have to do a catch up one for you, but I got it right here. I was writing it today, actually. Ooh. Doesn't look like. Oh, is that this week? Yes. Oops. Hang on. I'm about to do, because I did all of April thinking I had to work. I'm just getting organised for my May one, for May the 4th, Star Wars theme. So yeah, that's coming. So yeah, but anyway, I know I forgot to film it. I've got to film it. I'll go film it. Been writing lots of stuff in it though. Yeah. Well, no, sorry, I'm in the wrong week. But no, I'm right. Gee whiz, I'm out of it. Don't mind me. Yeah, there we go. Anyway.
Joey Turman, a bunch of old Crump guys. Marley Page, yes, Marley, yes, you are a friend of Miranda's. Yes, Marley. Samantha Long. Trisha Miranda spoke out. But the fact that you haven't said anything to say that this isn't true also tells me that you know that it's true. Because Matt Stefanina follows me, and Allison, Twitch's wife, is liking comments, so I know she's keeping up on what's happening. I've seen Allison watching my videos.
I see you watching me, watching you. Put it in your planner to film. You know what? I did, and I didn't do it. Vedandra, I didn't do it. So I'll have to do in fact, I have to do an April one to show you. I have to still do a March flip through, show you what March looked like, yeah. But I've essentially done, all of April's now been planned. I've actually got all of April, so I should just sit down and do them.
Americana. I saw Americana also liking comments about, liked Lauren's comment too. Merrick, please say something. Like, it's scary to say something, but silence is deafening. And the fact
silence is golden, golden,
that nothing's being said is just making it so that, like,
particularly when it's KJ,
and speak out. It's just making it so that, like, those of us that have spoken out just look like we're crazy.
Oh, yuck.
And, I mean, if Robert is serious about his lawsuit against me, all of these accounts that we know are his don't help, because it just shows that he doesn't care. And then last night, he blatantly showed online that this lawsuit is a, like, intimidation tactic because they don't want the Wilkins to have any sort of connection to me, believing that the Wilkins are the only family that's affected, which is not true. I have spoken to multiple parents of people inside that are just as worried. I have spoken to families of people that are in from like 20 years ago that are still in, that are worried.
If they've been in for 20 years. But hang on, but we're talking about 11 people, aren't we? Aren't we talking about 11 people? There's 11 people in this alleged cult. 11 people. Aren't we?
Please speak out. They're not involved. They're not involved. Like, these people aren't involved. Like, 7M is a small contained group. Use your Instagrams. Use your Instagram stories.
But why? Why am I going to speak out about something that I've seen no evidence of? I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it for the Prime Minister of Australia. I wouldn't do it. I need to see what I'm doing.
I don't have... And, like, just use your platform. Be responsible. You're all role models to the like, just use your platform. Be responsible. You're all role models to the to the young dancers. Show the young dancers that look up to you, that want to go to your classes, and that are watching your reels that make you money and watching your TikToks that make you money. Why don't you show them that you're what a role model should be? And speak out.
Who's she talking to? Oh. Oh boy.
Right? So does Twitch. So does Ellen.
That's right. Plan to Create says she wants others to post so she can say, well, they are saying it too. She doesn't want to take the fall for her words. Correct. And that's what I'm saying. But I won't do it because I've not seen the evidence to say that there's anything going on. You know? I know that I'm only a learner lawyer, but I'm not gullible.
So does Matt. Ellen's put them on the channel on her network so many times.
She's just one day she'll do the voices back. She's talking. I'm talking about the man in the mirror. Oh yeah. Just talking to the man in the mirror. Hey, all, do we all have our quality coffee? Hello, feisty lady. Yes, we do.
All right, I have to go.
Hallelujah.
And just use your platforms. Yeah, fiction, you can say something too. Just please use your platforms. Don't be like complicit to what's happening. Be courageous, be bold. I mean, the truth is the best defense. And
but what is the truth? I'm serious. I'm asking, what is the truth? Because what is it? I don't know. This is only her first one planned to create. We haven't even got to a second one yet.
I'm not worried about me, but I am worried about the dance community. So do what you need to do. If Allison's been following along this whole time, she knows enough to say something, right? So does Twitch.
Nope, sorry.
So does Ellen.
All right. Oh. This was something done by. This was somebody done. Look, I am dying laughing. She looks. Oh, she's gonna put makeup on for us. She's.
Ooh, I'm shiny. I'm just gonna come on here for a second. You can join me. I want to be 100% clear right now. Like 100%. I'm not going to mess around. I'm not.
Now, I believe she was doing this when Emily D. Baker was talking about her lawsuit because I was watching Emily D. Baker and I got notification that KJ was live. So she was obviously watching Emily D. Baker, and Emily D. Baker was saying if KJ has said that they have done human trafficking, that could be problematic for her.
I'm not going to be silly or funny. I'm going to be real here.
That's all right. I'll be silly and funny for you.
My lawsuit is not filed in court. It is not filed in court. I will show you that it is not filed in court. Not one person has reached out to me to ask for a copy of the lawsuit.
Well, maybe 7M gave them a copy of the lawsuit. I thought it was being filed today properly. I haven't checked to see. So this is what she's annoyed about, because people are reading her lawsuit and it's confidential. And she's saying nobody's reached out to get a copy of the lawsuit, but she's not the party. She's the party that's being sued. Maybe 7M reached out and sent copies to people. Hello.
How then do all of these YouTubers have the lawsuit? Who did they get the lawsuit from? Because it is not filed in court. Anyone speaking about this lawsuit communicated with the cult. Is that who you want to be following?
There we go. We've all communicated with the cult. Now, in my defense, I've only shared what she shared. I only shared what she shared. I've only talked about what she's shared. I'll have a look later. I'm gonna have a look shortly because I don't know if I can get filings. EDB specified. I thought it was. I heard that they were filing it officially today. It had been filed when she did this. I thought she had. But why would you let the truth stand in the way of a good story, hey? She wants to get this. She needs her minions to strike. And, of course, she went after Emily, and Emily gave her the best. I don't know whether anyone saw Emily's response on Twitter, because she wanted to know what state KJ's law degree came from. So, Oh, I'm not worried. It was filed on the 5th, was it? She just, watch.
Do you want to follow someone that will willingly take a lawsuit from a man like Robert? Because this is not filed in court. This was a pocket service. There is no court record. We are not under the jurisdiction of a court. They got the lawsuit from the cult, not from me. It's not in court. There is no case number, no judge. It has not been filed.
It wasn't the. Oh, did you, Jennifer? Did you just pull it up? I'll have to see if I can. I'll have to see if I can pull it up, but I can't actually get it because I don't live in America. I can't get full access. I can't get full access to Pacer, but I'll see what I can do. If I can find it, I'll show it to you. So we'll have a look.
In court, if you are a YouTuber and you are talking about this case, you did not get it from me. You got it from the cult. Do you want to stand on the side of the cult? Because we didn't give you this. We didn't give you this.
It's federal, is it? Oh, we didn't give you this. How dare you have it? Oh, it's Minnesota courts one, is it?
If you have a copy of it, that means you got it from Robert or you got it from 7M. It's not filed in court. It's called pocket service. That means you can't go online and find this. That means you can't download this from the court.
That's state, okay.
From one of the parties. You have to request it from the court.
Well, maybe they requested it from the court. Come on. Does she really think? Really?
They have not filed anything in court. We have not been notified of it being filed in court.
Pocket service is legal, but it means it doesn't go to it. You essentially have 12 months to do it, apparently. And normally you would have 12 months, but it would seem that 7M decided that they weren't going to do that. They were just going to file it straight away. Case, court records. Let's have a look.
This is what we have. There's no case number. It is not filed in court. When it's filed in court, we are notified. No, it's not a fake lawsuit. It just means that it hasn't been filed. So you guys got this not from the court.
That's what she's mad about. You're correct.
This was sent to my home. They showed up at my home with the lawsuit. This is called pocket service. Pocket service in the state of Minnesota means from the date that you file, you have 1 year, or from you draft the lawsuit, you have 1 year to file it with the court.
Yes, and they filed it with it. They filed it in the court in 1 day. Yes, it's here. It's here. I've got it. It's here. I got it. I'll show it to you. Just so that you can see. I've just done it. It's all right. I've just got it here. All right. I'm going to open up a new tab here. Watch this. Look at this. All right. So I just put in Paulson. We're going to do it live. You can watch it live. And then I wrote in Catherine. And then I put find. Would you believe it? 7M Films, Robert Shin versus Catherine Mansky Paulson without a crystal ball. Date filed the 5th of the 4th, 2022. Michael Todd Chrisley versus... So then we select case. Voila! We have got the attorneys. Here it is. Look, I can click on the affidavit of service. I can click on the document. And what do we have here? We have... What have we got here? We have got the summons. Wow, there we go. Here it is. So I'm sorry, Katie Joy, it is live because I've just done it live.
These have not been filed in the court. That means, and they do this...
Liar, liar, your pants are on fire.
in the state, because a lot of these lawsuits never go to court. And so what they do is they allow pocket service, which allows attorneys to work things out outside the jurisdiction of a judge. It's still...
The case number. Notice the case number at the top of the page. 1917. Oh, yeah, the 5th of the 4th. Oh, yeah, so that's the lawyer's address there. Legal assistance. But, yeah, look. And it still doesn't have a judge, but the court's got it. But the interesting thing is that Emily D. Baker actually mentioned the watermark from the Minnesota judicial branch. She talked about the watermark in itself. It says here, filed in the District Court, State of Minnesota, the 5th of the 4th, 2022 at 9:36 a.m. So it's filed. Anyway, this makes it
a lawsuit, but it's not in the public domain.
Yes, it is. Is that why she deleted it?
It hasn't been filed.
Yes,
they
it has.
requested injunctions, but that doesn't mean it's been filed. You can put anything in a complaint, but it hasn't been filed.
Yes, it has.
Like, do you want to argue with me? Because I'm the party here.
Yep, I'll argue with you. Because I just went to the court. Look. Wow. Hey, look. Upcoming hearing. Motion hearing. There's a date. We have a date. A day or two ago, the 27th of the 5th, 2022 at 9 a.m. The judicial officer is... We've got a date. Oh, let's put that in. Let's put that in our diaries. Everyone write down the 27th of May, KJ, court date. Let me just get my little diary. Where's my May? I'm all... KJ's court date, which is actually it's the next day for me. 9 a.m. will be the night of it, won't it? 27th, KJ court date. I got a date! I got a date! Finally, I got a date. I can get dressed up. I got a date.
Pocket service is used when someone isn't serious about their lawsuit.
Hello. Did you just hear what she just said?
Pocket service is used when someone isn't serious about their lawsuit. Pocket service is used when people want to start a lawsuit to like be a dick, or they don't want to deal with the court.
So there you go. There you go. They're not serious, but they did file it. That's the problem. We have a date.
So if you knew about this lawsuit ahead of time, that means you were speaking to the cult. If you knew about this and you have these documents, that means you're speaking to the cult. If you're reporting on this and you have the documents, you're in bed with the cult. You can be in bed with the cult.
Sorry, I go to bed myself. I go to bed on my own. And you've all just seen me pull up the documents.
And on the wrong side, again, like you always are, Emily, or you can be on the right side. I am so tired of Emily Baker. She has made my life hell for 2 years.
How can somebody, how can she be making her life hell for 2 years when, has it been 2 years? You could. I know. I would be getting dressed. So I bought a new outfit as well. I've been upgrading my attire to my lawyer attire, so I can even put on my lawsuit.
I don't even talk about her on my channel. She has done every one of my lawsuits, and she acts like they're the biggest deal in the fucking world. No.
So this, so just gotta remember, she did this. She started this while Emily was talking about her lawsuit.
None of them have gone anywhere. When I was being sued by Tati Westbrook, she convinced people that I was going to go to jail for civil contempt and that I was destroying evidence when I wasn't destroying evidence. And she also slandered my attorney. She made mockeries of the judge. She gave the judge a nickname. Mind you, she is a she's a bar licensed attorney in the state of California. And she was disparaging a fellow bar attorney. When you're an officer of the court, ethically, you are not supposed to disparage or slander other officers of the court.
Oh, sorry. Really? But she can give. But why here? But here's the problem. Why is KJ allowed to disparage and slander everybody, but nobody else can do it? Just give me 24 hours. I'd love to know what's on those computers. The Fox says he just needs 24 hours.
So, I know that she's going to get it. And someone told me she's been lied. So, if Emily has it, if any other channel has it, I don't understand how anyone can take Emily seriously when she's on her channel cursing, saying facts, not fuckery, and she's not licensed in the state of Tennessee.
That's okay. She knows all her slogans. But doesn't KJ swear on her channel, on her Instagram?
So she's playing an attorney, but she's not licensed in the state that she works in or that she's in. She, in the state of Tennessee, cannot give legal advice. Unless she's in the state of California, she cannot practice law.
But she's not giving legal advice. It's legal commentary. It's completely different.
So legally speaking, what I have is it's a lawsuit. It's just not in court.
Yes, it is.
I don't know if that makes anyone else. I don't know if it's with anyone else. So I'm not jealous of Emily, Chris.
I'm not jealous of Emily. I just lost that. Sorry, Lava Girl. Oops, I lost it. So, yeah, she wasn't very happy. All right. Oh yeah, so that was you're in bed with a cult, I think.
She, in the state of Tennessee, cannot give legal advice. Unless she's in the state of California, she cannot practice law. So legally speaking, what I have is it's a lawsuit. It's just not in court. I don't know if that makes anyone else.
What? I don't know if that makes anyone else. What does that mean? What does that mean? Someone...
I don't know if this was anyone else. So I'm not jealous of Emily, Crystal. I'm not jealous of Emily, Crystal. I don't give a shit. I don't even pay attention to Emily.
Well, that's why. So that's why she's on at the same time Emily's on and going berserk. Because she doesn't care, right?
I don't care about Emily. I don't watch Emily. Emily can have a great life. I just wish Emily would stop talking about me.
She's talked about her with her filings. That's all. Oh dear.
Here come all her fucking fans.
No, anybody was watching the breakdown. As I said, uncivil law has come to the similar conclusion as Emily as well. So you know what would give KJ better credibility is for her to say, well, Emily is a criminal lawyer and this is a civil matter. Her specialty is in the criminal realm. That would actually be better. It's like when Poppy Seeds comes on and talks about it, she'll always say, I'm a migration lawyer. However, you have to learn it all in law school. So it doesn't mean you can't talk about it, but she would be better off saying, well, Emily's got her, is a criminal, did her, that would be more credible, in my opinion.
So at the end of the day, they're not going to get an injunction because I haven't done anything wrong, and they're not going to win an injunction. They haven't even gone to court yet.
Yes, they have. They've now gone to court the 27th of May.
We have 2 days to respond, and we are going to be responding, denying all allegations and counter-suing, and we're still working on the damages right now.
How can you say that you've had damage? How can she talk about damages? What damage has she got? It's not their fault that she has been working for free.
We're estimating in the millions right now.
Her business is not even worth millions. You can't claim for what you can't prove. You'd have to prove that you've suffered losses of $1 million. You can't. You can't.
So I have zero interest on going on Emily's channel. There's nothing to defend. Anyone that takes the lawsuit, that 7M, seriously needs psychological help.
There we go. If we take it seriously, we need psychological help. the judge has to take it seriously. So I'm sorry, the judge needs psychological help. She was they defamed her on those Instagram accounts. Someone looked up her taxes and said that she claimed and she earned $33,000. Well, the thing is, then that would be her damages. She cannot claim that she's lost $10 million. How? What? I don't know. I don't know what she's talking about. She can't. So she could. All right. So she could get $33,000. I was reading a case today where both parties had to pay the other party. But still.
You need psychological help if you are defending 7M. You need psychological help if you are defending the claims that they're making. And you need psychological help if you're on that side. Yes, I have a production team.
Well, where are they? Where are they? They're very silent. Because I would have thought your production team would be out helping you. And also, if she's saying that as far as I know, the production team is silent. So no one knows who they are. So she can't be claiming damages for them because A, they're not party in the suit, and they're silent. But she would have to prove it. She's going to have to prove her finance. She's going to have to prove that that's the amount of money she's lost. I hope their lawyers have noted she just dissed a member of the judiciary. I hope so too. Gee, this actually was funny. No wonder she deleted it.
And on civil law, if he pulled it from the court, he got it before we did.
Oh, hang on. So uncivil law can pull it from the court, but Emily can't. Okay.
But any legal person that likes to get off on this, I just want to remind you, Emily Baker, we almost filed a complaint with the bar. We almost sued you. We're still in the statute of limitations to sue you for what you did last year. So just remember that. I can still file a lawsuit against you at any time, Emily, for what you did. And we can still file a bar complaint against you.
Cal wants to know how you can claim for how do you lose $10 million you haven't earned? Well, that's right. And I'm sure that Emily's shaking in her boots as well. Like, really?
So
a lot of lawyers don't want to be involved in bar complaints, by the way, because they're messy business and you get a reputation.
We've asked you to stop, and you don't. And if you are going to be on the side of the cult, it's not the right side to be on. So
her reading legal documents and saying, how is reading the documentation being on the side of the cult? Oh dear. Llama Girl, this is classic. Oh, thank you for the laugh.
It is crap. The whole lawsuit is crap. We went through the entire lawsuit today, and it's bullshit. It's baseless. There's literally nothing to it. There's claims in there that aren't even things that I said. He used statements that Lydia made.
Oh, by the way, yeah, it's funny because you haven't, you've deleted them. Remember, well, as I said, I don't know whether it is in Australia, but you can be liable as an intermediary. So if something, if in my little handy dandy notebook, in my textbook, I said that you can be held liable as an intermediary if you pass on something that somebody has said that is defamatory. In Australia, that can happen.
That Lydia Chung made, statements that Lydia Chung made as mine.
So yes, so in Australia, as I said, you can be so it says the intermediary could be a social media, could be on social media. Previous cases have suggested that intermediaries may be able to avoid defamation liability if their role was passive in hosting the material rather than actively publishing it. However, more recent judgments have indicated that intermediaries may be liable if defamatory matter is brought to their attention and they actively refuse to remove it. So as I said, I shared a case earlier where Google was deemed liable for information on one of their platforms. So she could be, well, if she was in Australia, she could be deemed an intermediary because she published information that was defamatory.
And they also used like things I didn't say in there. They also posted like upon information and belief, meaning they had no proof of what was said.
Well, my understanding is they linked to all the Instagram posts.
If you are worried about me, you're focusing on the wrong people. Emily and Uncivil, what I would encourage you to do is start digging into the lawsuits that have been filed against Robert Shin.
What, from 2011 that were dismissed? This is the point. This is my point. You can't, if it's already been and dealt with in the court, you can't bring it back up.
If you want to do the Lord's work, that's where you should be going. Check out Robert's Chung versus Lydia Chung versus Robert Shin. It's in the Orange County Courthouse. That would be a good one for you to get used to. There's several lawsuits in the Los Angeles court. There's multiple bankruptcies that have been associated with his group.
Yeah, but when were they filed?
I've also been told that there's police reports that have been filed at the La Mirada police station. That's where I would focus my energy if I were you. I have used evidence. I've used court records. I have
evidence? Like what? What evidence? There's no point. You can't talk about. Yes, it is called double. Yes, there is a thing called double jeopardy. Yes, but I don't know how that works. I don't know if that happens in civil courts. I know it's mainly criminal. I know it happens a lot in criminal. I'm not sure about the civil court. But if some of those cases were criminal and he got off, then he can't be charged for the same something. You can't be charged for the same thing twice. But I'm not sure.
I've used court records. I have interviewed people, and anyone that is going to defend them is going to be discrediting the people that have come to me with.
Yeah, but my whole point is that I've not seen anything recently of note that says that anything like this has happened. Hands up if hands up everybody who's got nothing that they've done in the past that they're ashamed of or embarrassed. If you've got a squeaky past, put your hand up. Because I think we've all done stupid things in our past, to be honest. And we've all done, a lot of us wouldn't have been into court. Reading court filings is not reading court filings is not defending, and making a comment about them is not defending. In my, You're perfect, says short order cook. That's funny. I did stupid things today. Without the lawyer's an angel too. Cool. Alrighty, the 9th of the 4th, 80. Oh, that's Saturday. Can't do that one. Okay, hands up. I have a clean record. Well, I don't. I've done some bad things. Oh, that should be shock horror, hey? All right.
Their trauma. I'm not mad at uncivil law. Like, I really don't care.
I'm not mad. I don't care. Yes, you do.
If you think I'm going after Miranda, I'm not. Nobody's attacking Miranda. Nobody. Everyone on this side wants Miranda safe. We want her out. We want her free. That's what everyone over here wants.
Yeah, but what if she doesn't want to? What if she's happy and she doesn't want to be out and free? She just wants to do what she's doing. What if she just wants to keep doing what she's doing? Who are you to say to somebody what they can and can't do when they're an adult?
No one's attacking her. Emily spread a narrative that I sent death threats. She spread a narrative that I was stalking people and harassing them. She made people believe that I was going to be arrested for destroying evidence. She was actually in a little group that was like behind the scenes doing stuff, kind of following me. She was really close to the prosecution's or the plaintiff's attorney. And when we attempted to reach out with her to share our side, she refused to speak with us. She didn't have to speak with us, but she was trying to say that.
No, I don't think cults are illegal. I don't think they're illegal in Australia. I mean, either, but that's a whole different. If what you're doing is you can be doing stuff, but you don't have to be in a cult to do illegal stuff either.
Her coverage was unbiased, but she wasn't because she was getting information directly from the plaintiff's side and not from us. That lawsuit was
actually. So wait on. So let's just say she was getting information from KJ, then she wouldn't be unbiased, allegedly. So, but because she got information, she's
dismissed, and I have a settlement agreement with them only because I was going to sue them after it was dismissed in Minnesota.
No, you weren't. No, Todd was going to sue her, wasn't she? Now she's saying she was going to sue them, that they settled because they didn't want to be sued?
Only because I was going to sue them after it was dismissed in Minnesota. And instead of filing a lawsuit against them, we settled.
And yet, Tardy got her source and you had to take down all the videos. Who won? Seriously. And you can't talk about it. Like, who got the better deal?
And that settlement included a mediation where Tati and I and her attorneys went through everything, and everyone agreed no defamation happened. It was a huge misunderstanding, and everything was fine. And everything is fine when it comes to Tati and her attorneys. I have nothing negative to say about Tati.
There's 11 people in the alleged cult. Well, the thing is, the interesting thing is, how could she sue Tati when Tati didn't say a word? You can't. Tati was silent the whole time. She was off social media. Like, how? What on earth did she have? How could she say that Tati had ruined her business when Tati hadn't said a word? Seriously?
The whole situation was a mess, and thankfully, through mediation, everything was sorted out.
This is hilarious. Well, the thing is, that's right. She's not allowed. I don't think she's allowed to say anything about Tati, anything negative about Tati. So who won? You know.
So that's my think discovery depositions will say otherwise about what? About me?
Yep.
That I'm a bad person? Am I running a cult?
Well, that's right. I mean, you wouldn't mediate if you did nothing wrong. That's correct.
I'm just sick, you guys, and I'm tired, and I don't want to deal with this.
Well, get off the internet.
Do you understand how boring this is to me? This isn't exciting. It's not going to go anywhere. These lawsuits never go anywhere. So, like, just to give you an update on the Todd Chrisley lawsuit, I can give you an update on that. They've posted a Zoom for a hearing that they say is going to happen at the end of April, but we are actually not going to have that hearing. We're going to request that the hearing be continued until after his criminal case has been adjudicated. So once he's gone through his case, and his criminal case will answer a lot of his claims against me, and his lawsuit overwhelmingly is baseless. We expect it to be thrown out, but the lawsuit includes what I shared today in the, he was accusing me about this alleged sex tape issue that happened where Lindsay felt like he was threatened, and all I did was report on what was a police report and what she said on Dr. Phil. So, I haven't taken the Chrisley lawsuit seriously since day one. I haven't even thought about it. My attorneys take care of it. They have not asked for discovery in weeks. Todd's criminal case has been ramping up, and one of the recent rulings in his, one of the recent deadlines in his criminal case was that he could not add any more discovery. So, the U.S. government filed this motion, and they basically said, we have yet to receive all the discovery from him, but at this point in time, he's past the deadline. But we didn't have any discovery to give him. And he can't use me because I have nothing to offer his case. So he said that he was going to depose me twice, and I will say that we were never deposed. We were never, even, they tried to depose us, but the judge in his civil case stopped depositions. So we were never deposed. I was never a part of that lawsuit. I never had to sit for a deposition. So generally what happens in these cases is two things. You can either do a motion to dismiss, you can file a summary judgment, or you can file a countersuit with counterclaims.
No. Or you can file a defense.
So we will file an answer, and we will file a countersuit. And generally, once you file a countersuit, generally that's when the lawsuits fall apart, because the person realizes, well, I might not win, and I might have to pay for theirs.
In my opinion, this is probably one of the stronger ones that I've seen. The human trafficking ones, I think, are going to be hard to defend. And as I said, after this, we're going to go through, and I'm going to talk to you. We're going to go through if she lived in Australia, what defences she could use.
So, I don't have anything to say about Virginia or any of the other accounts. I don't really have a relationship with any of these accounts beyond DMs about sharing information or sharing a story. So no, I have zero. I don't know anything about any of it. She never claimed to be a good friend of Kelly's. There is someone that does know her from childhood, but isn't public, and it's not Virginia.
Well, Jujube says, I think they failed right away because Little Miss, feeling saucy, sassy, wouldn't see it coming, and she goaded them, and they said, okay, ma'am, we'll do it. Yeah, and remember, she said only people that aren't serious do pocket service, and then while she's complaining about the fact that nobody should be having it, it's been filed. So, she's been made to look like a fool. There's always a joker in a pack. Oh, no. Go to bed.
Also, former members of the church have told me that this has been done before by him, that he hates to spend money on lawyers, that he's just doing this. They think he's just doing this to intimidate me. I think it's hilarious that they're worried about me. I'm so small compared to them. If they are such a huge, successful organization, tiny little me is insignificant. So, long story short, no, I'm not worried about this lawsuit. Anyone that makes a big deal of this lawsuit online is with the help. I don't address any of these accounts that go off on me because they're really just worthless. They're not worth my time. I do have a production company. That is true. But no,
where are they?
Releasing that information.
But where is this production company? Why aren't they helping her defend herself? That's my question.
And it's not anybody's when an official announcement comes, it'll come. But I also know factually that there are many production companies that are shopping this right now. Lionsgate, which is a huge company, reached out to me.
Yeah.
The group that did...
Oh, now we're names dropping companies. Great, good one.
Seduced. They reached out to me. The group that did The Vow on HBO, they reached out to me. Huge production companies with huge budgets. So,
of course, because they want their competitor out of the way. Can anyone else just see that this is about getting rid of the competition? In my opinion, rather than they wanted somebody to do their dirty work and they found a fool. In my opinion, to do their dirty work, and they're just getting rid of the competition, sitting back, letting her take all the heat. I've seen nothing. From what I've seen, she's interfered in a family dispute between Miranda and her family, has implicated everybody else, and now she's in trouble. They're all letting her take the heat. But where are they? And all these companies that are reaching out, of course they want to encourage her to keep going because they're getting rid of the competition.
I know that there's many companies right now looking at this.
Well, that's one of the... In fact, we can have a quick look at it. That is one of their things. There's tortious interference from as a company, so of contract, tortious interference of contract, which means that she's interfered and had some of their contracts end, which she's admitted doing with sponsorships. So
he wants an injunction for me to remove everything about him online. That's hilarious. You can't force someone to remove things that are like...
Yes, you can. It's called an injunction. Do I need to actually read to her what the definition of an injunction is? As I said, look, I don't know. An injunction, let me just tell you what an injunction does, okay? Page 552 of my textbook gives me the definition of injunction. So an injunction is a court order. And it's classed as a remedy because it stops one party from taking an action against another party. Okay.
If not true, or that are true. Like, people have a right to have an opinion online.
You can have an opinion, but you can't be disparaging somebody.
Charlie.
You can't be saying about human trafficking unless you've got the proof. Well, I didn't either, Mimo. So there you go. Okay, now this is all I saw.
All right, I have to go. I don't have any water up here. I won't be commenting further about this because honestly, it's baseless. So I just want to this is it. This is all I'm going to say. I'm done. The lawsuit is going to go nowhere. Anyone that claims it's a decent lawsuit knows nothing about the law. This is one of many lawsuits I've gone through. And also anyone that claims that I'm always getting sued, that's part of this world. Because of the type of work I do, I cover a lot of cults and they like to sue. And I also cover a lot of criminals that are narcissists and they also like to sue.
Right. So is she implying that Todd, Chrisley and Todd are narcissistic criminals? Let's just repeat that again.
That are narcissists, and they also criminals that are narcissists, of cults, and they like to sue. And I also cover a lot of criminals that are narcissists, and they also like to sue. And so when you are reporting on narcissists, their big defense is intimidation through legal threats. So that's just how it works. I don't look at a lawsuit as it's going to end me because none of them ever have. And
yeah,
they won't.
Okay, there you go. So narcissists, criminals, and cults are the people that sue her. You heard it from her. You've heard it from the mouth. People are the foxes, people who often call people narcissists, and often, yes, well, that's true. So let's have a look what the defences to defamation is. So this is from the Fitzroy Legal Service Law Handbook because I couldn't find my textbook online. So in Australia, they've actually now put in uniform defamation laws. So here's defences. So remember, this is in Australia. Victoria, so I don't know what her defences are, but this gives you an idea. So you can plead the truth defence. So in Victoria, truth, or it's called justification, has always been a complete defence to defamation. For this defence to succeed, the defendant must prove that the defamatory imputations or meanings are true, while the plaintiff, the person who claims to have been defamed, doesn't have to prove that they are false. Okay? So, further, the defendant must prove the imputations conveyed by the words, not simply the words themselves, are true. Thus, using our example, the defendant needs to prove the imputation that Mr. X is a bigamist is true. It is not simply to prove that the words used, i.e. that Mr. X got married last Sunday, are true. So, hopefully so if you say Mr. X is a bigamist, right, you have to prove that he is a bigamist, not that he got married last Sunday. Under uniform defamation laws, the truth alone is a complete defence. Therefore, it is not necessary for a defendant to prove that a publication related to a matter of public interest or public benefit. So if you plead the truth defense, you don't have to plead any other defense because it's a complete defense. However, so for example, if KJ was to plead the truth defense, she would have to prove that 7M participate in human trafficking. How do you do that? But they don't necessarily, and the plaintiff doesn't need to prove that they're not. So another one is absolute privilege. So in some situations, freedom of communication is considered to be important, that the participants are completely protected from being liable for defamation. So absolute privilege is one that often the politicians will use. Absolute privilege is recognised by common law by Section 27 of the Defamation Act of Victoria, 2005. Anything said or done by members of Parliament in the course of parliamentary proceedings is absolute privileged. This means no action for defamation can be brought, even if the person who makes the defamatory statement knows it is false and made the statement with the intention to damage the affected person's reputation. Absolute privilege also covers the broadcast of parliamentary proceedings, documents tabled in Parliament, and official reports of parliamentary proceedings. Similarly, all statements made in the course of court proceedings by judges, jurors, barristers, witnesses, and parties are also absolutely privileged. This includes statements contained in documents used in the course of legal proceedings, but not the publication of these documents outside of court. So if KJ is simply reading from a court document that the judge has said X, Y, Z, that's absolute privilege. Absolute privilege applies to tribunals that operate like court. However, it does not purely apply to administrative bodies and licensing agents. So the Public Interest Disclosures Act, Victoria 2012, confers absolute privilege on disclosures may be made on reasonable grounds that public body or public officer has engaged in or proposes to engage in improper conduct. The disclosure must be made to the appropriate person as set out in Section 6 of the Act. There are other communications that may be absolute privilege, such as communications between a solicitor and client, communications between government ministers. However, the law in this area is complex. It appears to be relevant. A lawyer specialising in defamation should be consulted. So with our lawyer says, so KJ just said criminal narcissist sue. So she just said she can sue EDB and could have sued Todd and counter-sue and Arshin. Is she a triple criminal narcissist? Possibly. So if KJ was being sued in Victoria, she could plead the truth defence, but she'd have to prove the statement's true. Where it was relating to court documents, she could plead absolute privilege. See, I'm trying to help her here. Qualified privilege. In many situations, it is in the interest of society that people can communicate frankly with each other without fear of being sued for defamation. The defence of qualified privilege protects honest communication in such situations. Qualified privilege is recognised by the common law and the Defamation Act. The Defamation Act does not affect the common law defence of qualified privilege. In situations protected by qualified privilege, a plaintiff can only successfully sue for defamation by proving that the defendant was motivated by malice in making the defamatory statement. Malice means the defamatory statement was made for some ulterior purpose and was not honest communication that qualified privilege is intended to protect. The Fox says, Joanne, wouldn't there be a law for a ridiculous amount of cases against her? I'm not sure. I don't think you can't sue somebody for stupidity, unfortunately. So under qualified privilege, you would have to prove that what you said wasn't malicious. The defendant's negligence is not checking the truth of their statement does not amount to malice, unless negligent amounts to reckless indifference to truth. Intending to cause harm to somebody is an improper purpose and is therefore usually considered to be malicious. However, this is not always the case, especially in political speech where qualified privilege exists between a person commenting on candidates and electors making a statement with the intention to damage a candidate's chances of being elected. So, many situations covered by qualified privilege, statements made by a person under a legal or moral duty of another person, statements made to further a legitimate common interest. Protection of a legitimate interest. Fair reporting on public proceedings. So qualified privilege applies to fair and accurate reports of parliamentary and judicial proceedings, including reports based on parliamentary or court documents, because such reporting is viewed as being in the public interest. So, for example, if KJ wanted to sue me, she'd have to sue me in Australia, and my defence would be fair reporting on public proceedings. The Defamation Act provides statutory defences for the publication of public documents and fair reporting of proceedings of public concern and the publications of matters concerning an issue of public interest. There's also discussion of government and political matters, and also reasonable qualified privilege. Reasonable publication contains a form of qualified for publications made to the general public where the publisher's conduct is reasonable. Whether conduct is reasonable is determined in accordance with factors set out for that. So then we've got fair comment. The common law defence. So common law is the judge-made laws, and statutory laws are government-made laws. So common law defence of fair comment applies to comments, opinions expressed about matters of public interest. This would be my second defence. The name of this defence is misleading, as the comment does not need to be fair, i.e. it doesn't need to be reasonable or just. It only needs to be an opinion of that person, however prejudiced, and honestly held. A person may publish any comment opinion to the world at large, even if the meanings conveyed are defamatory and false, provided that the comment concerns a matter of public interest. This includes comments about the government, administrative, blah, 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 blah. The defamation imputation is understood to those whom it is published to be a comment, i.e. not an opinion. An opinion, not a statement of fact. Statement of fact are not protected by the fair comment defence and must either be proved to be true or protected by absolute or qualified privilege. The defamatory imputations conveyed by the comment is based on facts that are true and which were either set out or sufficiently referred to in the publication of which are notorious. So that they would be my defences if KJ was to sue me for defamation would be fair comment, qualified privilege, fair reporting on public proceedings, and truth. Because I can prove anyway. So, like qualified privilege, the offence of fair comment can be defeated if the plaintiff can establish that the defendant made a defamatory comment maliciously in the context of fair comment. A malice means the publisher did not honestly hold the opinion that was published. The Defamation Act, Section 31, provides a defence of honest opinion that is similar to common fair law, common defence. Just as with common law, the statutory defence can only be defeated if a plaintiff can establish that the opinion was not honestly held by the defendant. The statutory defence also protects publishers who publish the opinions of third parties, callers to talkback radio. So that is that. So here we go. This is the Victorian Defamation Act. So this is the state that I live in. This is just to show you. So causes of action. Offer to make amends. So you can actually withdraw comments. And this, publish of public documents. There's all these. There's also defense of triviality, which has got me very interested. Let's see, does my textbook have that in there? Because I thought that was interesting. So let's have a look. Go to my defamation section. Yeah. So the other one that's in my textbook is innocent dissemination, where you publish something not realizing that it was true. Yeah. So justification is the same as that. Contextual truth, yeah, where part of it is true. Absolute privilege, yeah. Qualified privilege. Fair reporting of public concern, yeah. Qualified privilege we've done. Honest opinion or fair comment. So if it's a matter of opinion rather than fact, is of public interest. The facts on which the opinion is based are true or arise out of an occasion of privilege. Innocent dissemination, this is interesting. All individuals involved in publication process, including authors, editors, printers, and publishers and broadcasters, are technically liable for defamation. Technically. If this principle were upheld strictly, the practical consequence would be distributors such as newspapers, vendors, and libraries could be held responsible even though they have no direct involvement. To set some limits, the defence of innocent dissemination protects defendants if they publish the matter in their capacity as an employee or agent of a subordinate distributor and neither knew or ought to have known that the matter was defamatory, and their lack of knowledge was not due to negligence on their part. So an individual is a subordinate distributor if they were not the first or primary distributor of the matter, were not the author or originator of the matter, and were not able to exercise editorial control over the matter prior to publication. So that's another one that we can do. And triviality is the defence of triviality is likely to apply where the defendants can prove that the circumstances of publication were such that the plaintiff was unlikely to sustain any harm. So in Smith versus Lucht, the court considered the meaning of harm for the purposes of the triviality defences in circumstances where the former son-in-law of a solicitor referred to the solicitor as Dennis Denuto, a fictional incompetent lawyer from the movie The Castle. The comment was made to the plaintiff and the plaintiff's son and daughter-in-law. The court upheld the defence of triviality, stressing the need for reputational harm rather than merely emotional harm for the purpose of defamation. So triviality. So there you go. And so when we talk about remedies, you're talking about, so again, I'm talking about where I live in Australia. So look, and then you've got here proofs and everything. So let's see. I want to, but there's also like calculations and everything. Yeah. So remedies. So non-economic loss. So for example, so they said, so for example, under court orders, unless subsection maximum amount of damages for non-economic loss that may be awarded in defamation is $2,050,000. So they actually have limits in place. So, for example, the amount declared to be underestimated by the Australian statistician, they go and they look at a website that says how much someone would be earning a week. So explanatory or punitive damages cannot be awarded. So you can't get punitive damages in Victoria for defamation. Here is, see, factors in mitigation of damages. So if you want to pay less, evidence is admissible. So the defendant has made an apology to the plaintiff. If they've published the correction, they've already recovered some damages. So if you say that you'll apologise to them, you can actually have your defamation amounts come down. So it will be assessed as a single sum. In awarding costs, so then there's the laws about how to award costs. And about a settlement offer. So, everything's covered. I'm getting good. Hello, Barbara. Is that why a reporter on a story? Yes. Generally, yes. So anyway, that is the Defamation Act for the state in which I live. So physics down under. Yes. So I've got my L plate on. I've got my L plate for learner. So economic loss damages is to compensate for reputational harm. So they can claim for loss of earnings, loss of income, loss of employment, loss of contracts, or lost opportunities. So, for example, Rebel Wilson, she was awarded $3.917 million. for economic loss against her Bauer Media defamation lawsuit. However, on appeal to Victorian Court of Appeal, economic loss damages were set aside. So non-economic loss or general damages is award for harm to the plaintiff's reputation and difficult to quantify with precision. For example, when politician Joe Hockey sued Fairfax Media, he was awarded $120,000 in general damages for defamation, defamatory advertising posters, and $80,000 for each of the 2 defamatory tweets. And again, they were capped. There's a cap. So sometimes the judge can go over that. So aggravated damages may be awarded when the court considers that the defendant's conduct has aggravated or increased the hurt suffered by the plaintiff. So, for example, in Wilson versus Bayer Media, Rebel Wilson was awarded $650,000, including aggravated damages for publication of defamatory magazine articles. However, it was reduced on appeal. Exemplary damages, so you can't do those. So and then they can I don't know why they aren't indexed to inflation physics down under, but if good night the fox, if for example the judge does believe that it was very bad, they can go over that cap, but only in extreme circumstances, because that's what they've asked for in the Google Barilaro case, that the caps be exceeded. So the other form of remedy, as I said, is an injunction. So that's a court order compelling a party to engage in or to refrain from certain conduct. In a defamation context, an injunction may be awarded preventing publication or republication of a defamatory manner. And an apology. You can be ordered to apologize. Apologies can be a powerful tool without the need for court proceedings or other forms of. The uniform defamation laws encourage resolution of disputes without recourse to litigation. They may make an offer to make amends, and the offer may include an apology. And as I said, social media has played a really big part, and there has been now cases of intermediaries like YouTube and Google now being held liable for defamatory conduct. So there we go. So that is our little crash course on defamation. I hope. Hey, Bo. I hope that's been helpful to you all, because that gives you a little bit of an idea of what some of the damages would be. You know, as I said, I'm a learner. Got my L plates on. I still don't know what I'm talking about, but what we do know is that KJ's. Actually, I was going to look at the Todd Chrisley stuff. Let me just have a look at the Todd Chrisley stuff, and I'll have to bookmark that Minnesota homepage too, because I want to have a look at the. Yeah, I'm just doing that now, Bella. Oh yes. Yes, this was. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Yeah. Ooh. So we do know that it has been filed in Minnesota. Where are we? Here we go. I want to go backwards. So there was some interesting. So I want to probably look at these. I probably want to look at the. I want to have a closer look at the court filings, because I really just want to get my head around it. But there is, as I said, in my opinion, there are a couple of things I'm really struggling to work out how she's going to defend. as I said, it's really going to be hard to do that, right? Oh, so I'm just seeing whether she's filed anything. So she's got here. This is the Todd Chrisley stuff. Now I know where it all lives. So we've got upcoming hearings, the 27th of the 4th at 2 p.m. and the 20th of July at 1:30 p.m. Catherine McPherson's the judicial officer. Martin Graham's the lead attorney. So 25th of the 1st was the last filing. I don't believe we do physics down under. You know what? We can really go through and have a look at all of this now. So he's got three with him, and she's got one on that one. Let's have a look. And then we've got that's not her, is it? It's just like it's come down to that one. That one's not her, as far as I know. That would be funny though. So this is the current stuff. Affidavit of service and complaint. So we know that on the 27th of the 5th, and it's a remote motion. There we go. Motion hearing. And they've paid. There we go. They've paid for it. Their e-filing receipt. So somebody means business. So this was interesting. This is civil other miscellaneous over Twitter and Instagram. And yet, funnily enough, Chrisley's is a personal injury, which is interesting. Whatever works, I guess. You go, Todd Chrisley paid for it as well. He's paid. Ooh, she's paid for something too. Oh, motion to dismiss. That's right. Wow. That's right. That's where they're using the journalist thing. I thought for a motion to dismiss, and I could be wrong. Oh no, that might be the affidavit. You actually had to put some more stuff in. Anyway, I'll have to have a look at this stuff now. Yeah. Well, that's good. Anyway, so to Katie Joy, if you are watching, yes, your documents are there because I did a live pull up of them. Wasn't sure how it was going to go. It could have just all fallen flat on me. So there we go. That is the lawsuits. So she's got two currently in the court. KJ is not suing anybody. Oh, she's doing a counterclaim against Todd Chrisley because he sued her. Yeah. And she's just been sued by 7M Films Incorporated, and allegedly she's stating that she's going to file a counterclaim, and I believe it starts from the day that she was. I believe it starts from the day, and I could be wrong, that it was pocket served to her, not the date it was filed in court. But they're not mucking around. she sat there and she mocked them. And that now deleted. Let's go to her. See, it's deleted. She's got that one up. She deleted the other one. But look at this one. She goes, Robert Shin's next door neighbour are moving. I'm hearing that people have been driving by a lot, trying to spot Robert. I'm assuming this could be pretty disruptive to neighbours. The real story is focusing on their lawsuit direct detracts from the story. Stay focused. Why are you posting pictures? And remember, they did state that they reserve the right. Any YouTube creator that takes the side of 7M or any cult when they sue me isn't worth my time. The lawsuit is baseless. We are filing a response. They want immediate injunction, but those are not easy to obtain. Courts do not like to gag their cases. It's the last resort they will take. We will not remove content. I stand by my reporting. That's why you've deleted over 60 posts. If you want the tea, there is no tea. We will not be silent. Scientology still hasn't shut up, Leah. She's not comparing herself to that. That's how hard it is to get injunctions. I've been sued. Yep, because I tend to cover cults, criminals, and narcissists. Narcissistic injury is real, and many love to sue to silence. I'm yet to lose a lawsuit, period. YouTubers covering this story while ignoring the cult need to do some serious soul searching. Oh, dear me. Oh, dear me. That is... Well, how many she got now? Because she had 6,000 and something yesterday. Oh, in fact, she had 6,004. You can go to my video yesterday and check. She's now got 6,002. So there you go. Then she's got, I'm worried for Miranda, truly. This video is frightening. I am not the enemy. I am not the stalker. This video doesn't help Robert in court. She just confirmed the account is 7M. She confirmed the slander. She taunted me for being served. Judges don't like it when people taunt and intimidate a legal case. There are actually laws against this. Reporting old videos from Angelica Oles, who has her own issues, doesn't prove your point. It proves that YouTube is petty. Please, someone get her out of here. But what about reporting on, or what about reading our old cases as if they're current? Hello? And so that's the live we watched earlier. Yeah. And then she's going on about Todd Chrisley again. I mean, don't go after Todd Chrisley. So anyway, on that note, this learner lawyer is going to head off now. We've been on for 2.5 hours. Wow. We've done a lot. Well, that's right, Physics Down Under. Never let the facts get in the way of a good story. That's right. Actually, she'd go really well. She'd go really well with our current government. Oh. So there you go. Well, she's sick. Anymore, she's sick. Don't you know she's sick? She's got COVID. So don't give SCO my ideas. Look, I have to give her credit. She knows how to get controversy and people talking about her. Just what the government needs. So anyway, so we've had a bit of a laugh. But yes, no wonder she deleted that Instagram thing where she's going off about the fact that it wasn't in court. Because, as we said, we could prove that it was in court. So, what kind of fool are you to always jump to conclusions without checking your facts? That's what she proved. She proved she doesn't fact check. She went on this big rant. If only she had checked for herself. Anyway. As I said, this learner lawyer will bid you farewell and we'll catch you again next time. And bye for now. And look, I've got caution, learner, caution.